Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? What is good? The king of lightning here today, bringing you guys and gals Hunter x Hunter. The glory that is Togashi Yoshihiro's Hunter x Hunter. Chapter 375 through 378 discussion. Now, I am fully aware that the latest chapter that's out currently is 379. However, that's going to be its own independent video. I'm going to do a genuine official Viz chapter review of that chapter. And I do want to talk about the previous 4 chapters, so here we are for a discussion video for those 4 chapters, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And first and foremost, I gotta say, because I'm going to dive right into it, I gotta say, it has been truly refreshing to get some Phantom Troupe and now the Mafia families of Kaken and a little bit of the Hunter Association, mainly the Zodiacs, mainly with Mizai Storm. We're getting some stuff here that I think, for the time being, is more important in the general sense of the story that was going on with Kirby and the Princes. Because Kirby has his own ambitions for the eyes of the Kurta clan, and the Princes tie directly into that, obviously, and mainly the 4th Prince. The Princes themselves, they are establishing new lands in the new continent, but the Phantom Troupe with Hisoka, I would argue, is more important for the overall story, especially when now you have Illumi. Illumi is in the gang. It was like, what? Like, what? Like, this dude, Hisoka, commissioned Illumi. I was like, that's mental. But then you have, again, one of the Zodiac, Mizai Storm. He's now involved because one of the Mafia families in Tier 3, the Heel family, some of the sort, they're not killing folks en masse. Hopefully, this may spread over to Jin and Pariston and beyond. I will take you there, which is all stuff for the Dark Continent, ultimately. So, yes, the Princes and Kurapika and what's going on with Camp Wobble and the Kurta Clan Eyes, all that stuff is important. The Kaken stuff is important. But I put the Phantom Troupe stuff over it. I do. And it has been refreshing to see what's going on with Kurolo and the gang. So we'll get to all that fun stuff in a few minutes. But I do want to backtrack to the first 2 chapters among the 4, where the primary focus is the Princess stuff. And it's not until chapter 377 to where we actually get some Phantom Troupe stuff. So, first and foremost, at the beginning of chapter 375, we get more intel on the Nen Beast of the Princes and what they can do. We're talking about 6th Prince Tyson, 2nd Prince Camila, 5th Prince Tube something, the sister of Camila, and the 7th Prince Lazarus, as well as 9th Prince Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg's Nen Beast is Hulkenberg's Nen Divine Guardian Spirit Beast, or whatever you want to call it, is on a whole new level, bro. Like, this thing is emitting massive Nen aura. I have a description of what the ability is for Hulkenberg's Nen Beast, because I think Hulkenberg in particular is going to be one of the last few remaining princes. And I quote from the chapter itself: "Enhancer and symbiotic type. The greater the number of those with the mark of the feather who gather under the prince, the higher their potential. Then the group unifies and activates its ability. It reaches the highest level among Nen abilities." So one of Benny Boys was there watching the whole thing go down. And mind you, the bodyguards of Hulkenberg himself, they do not know Nen. So Benny Boy's dude is watching this as they gather in solidarity and prayer for Momose, the 12th prince who had passed away. And they are all apparently genuinely remorseful, and they feel sorry. And that unity that they have in their emotions and in their actions and in their mindsets, that causes the Nen of, like, all of them, and the catalyst being the Guardian Spirit Beast, to just explode. Like, it is huge aura. And this dude is standing there like, yo, I gotta kill him. This guy was like, I gotta kill him. I gotta take him out now. This guy is a major threat For the sake of Prince Benjamin, it has to be done now. I don't care if it's out in the open, gotta do it now. And then you had the Nen Beast of Hulkenberg like, yo, I see you, dog. Like, come on now. Like, yeah, you see us, but I see you. You're gonna try and pull some nonsense on my boy? My boy Hulk? Oh, come on now. So when Benjamin calls up and is like, yo, I feel that. Can you kill him? He's like, nah, not right now. Not right now, boss. Not right now. Not the opportune time right now. So Hulkenberg right now is most definitely a major threat that Benjamin sees when it comes to his goals. He considers 3 camps right now to be of note. The first one being the 14th camp, because folks are dying left and right in there. An assassin in the 14th camp. Then in the 9th camp, a unified front, and their Nen Beast is, yeah, it's easy. Like, this Nen Beast, you knew from jump was serious. Like, the way it looked, you were like, yo, like this thing right here, Hulkenberg's Nen Beast, fierce. And it lives up to the image. I like to see that. And then you have the 4th camp, and that's because Benny Boy and the 4th Prince, they are, no. They have the same mom, but it's like, nah, like pure bloodlust. Like, there is no love there. So right now, those 3 have Benjamin's eye, predominantly so. And then later on, it's Camilla, because Camilla, you have the court proceeding because she killed a bunch of dudes, but she proclaimed that one of Benny Boy's guys, Muse, tried to kill her, which, I mean, he did, but for obvious reasons, self-defense, duh. The court basically adjourned where both of their quarters would be investigated by the Royal Army. Both of them, I believe, are under some sort of house arrest, both Camilla and Benjamin. And they'll be under house arrest, I believe, at least until either A, the next banquet, and or B, when Muse is found. However, Benjamin does have a fairly broken power himself, and he is watching Camilla through the owl that Muse put on her. Instead of 3, let's say 4 on the safe side. So there are 4 camps he has his eyes on right now. Again, number 1, the 14th camp because of the assassin. Number 2, the 9th camp because of the unified front. Number 3, the 4th camp because he just hates the 4th prince. And then number 4, the 2nd camp because Camilla is insane. And I also, going back to Hulkenberg real quick, Hulkenberg, he is now going to go and visit the king every day until the banquet, because he was strongly affected by the death of Momose. The fact that his sister died, and this whole succession war is to weed out the princes when they're supposed to be a family. I forgot how much of a role he played in the country of Kakin, but he played a really big role in certain aspects. And he was predominantly against the king, as far as I recall, and he does so openly. And he's going to try and visit the king every day. He can't actually see him until like the banquet, but he's gonna be there every day with a letter because he wants to talk to the king. Because of what's going on with his Nen Beast, I'm not too sure if he's going to make it through the time until the banquet. So there are folks that are on the chopping block. Like, I remember even Lazarus said that he was targeting Tube, the 5th prince. So princes are going to fall. Who's next? I'm not too sure. However, potentially the 13th camp is now gaining ground for various reasons. So, in the 13th camp, Hanzo, he's back in his original body, and Biscuit and Hanzo are now going to teach the 13th camp Nen. But they had to convince Virgil, one of the bodyguards, I think, of the queen herself, of 13th Prince Mariam, and they had to convince him that Nen was real, that there was something going on in the space that they're in. And they get, I forgot what his name was, but they get one of the guys that is one of the aides of Kurapika teaching these guys Nen. Essentially speaking, Biscuit and Hanzo have to convince Virgil that Nen is a real thing. They do convince Virgil of that with the other guy's assistance, but in the process, she hulks up and gets really big. And to each their own, and yes, there are chub chasers out there, but on the flip side, there are guys that apparently love hulkish, just huge, rippling women. Like women, women that have, honest to God, no business being called women. It's just like, what is, no. Like, the only thing that makes them female is their gonads, and that's it. And their gametes, and that's it. That's it. It's like, what in the name? Oh. This guy is staring at Biscuit. Like, oh my god, the combination of the triceps and biceps. Genius. Like she was Togoro. Genius. The muscles. Like, he was staring at him. Like, when she put her hand on his shoulder, like, oh, her very powerful grasp. I'm like, what is this? Like, dude. Virgil, buddy. What is, like, whoa. Watching way too much World's Strongest Women competitions. Way too much, man. Like, whoa, those guys. Potentially, if things go swimmingly in this arc and Virgil is alive after it's all said and done, we may see the return of Virgil's character in the future, because Virgil and Biscuit are gonna, if Biscuit, I mean, honestly, like, let's keep it real here. Biscuit, I don't think is getting that. I don't think Biscuit's getting that many offers. Let's keep it real. So that's what's going down with the 13th camp. The 13th camp, they're setting up. They're gonna teach Virgil and the other guys their Nen, and the Nen Spirit Beast has created the space. So this unique space, I thought that was created by one of Benny's boys, but no. The space is actually created by the Nen Beast itself, and that space is there so Mariam is protected, because Mariam was feeling something after Momose passed away, clearly. And the Nen Spirit Beast reacted to that. Now, we go over to the 10th camp with Kacho and Melody, and then that ties into Fugetsu, because I forgot what his name was, but there's another hunter there with big ears. That's on Melody's team, if you would say, because they're both hunters. And he's always emitting his N to sense the area. And he is aware that someone appeared in Kacho's room through something that appeared like a manhole. And they confirmed that it was Fugetsu. So Melody doesn't have an ally in this. And of course, their end game here is to protect Kacho. Because ultimately, the hunters don't want any issue getting to the new continent. They really don't. Because their end game here is the dark continent, ultimately. So if they can avoid any problems when it comes to the princes being executed and being taken out, all right, good. Have a stalemate, because it only helps them in the long run, the hunters. And now what we see here is the bond between Melody and Kacho. It is slowly improving because you have Kacho talking to Melody via Morse code. And they're planning several things when it comes to some type of like mock concert, I think during the next banquet, or a music thing during the next banquet. Melody is seeing Kacho do all these things, which I think ultimately she's doing to protect her sister Fugetsu, the 11th prince, because they do share a very strong bond. But Kacho acts a certain way in public, so if there's any resentment or any animosity or some of the sort towards the sisters, they would target Kacho first, because Kacho has the image of just being obnoxious and annoying, that kind of stuff. But Melody understands what Kacho is doing. Kacho is taking the burden from Fugetsu, at least she's trying to. Melody wants to really protect Kacho. So Kacho and Melody's bond is growing, their trust is growing, and you can almost say, you can almost say that the same way Kurt Pika wants to protect Queen Oito and Wobble is now in the same way Melody wants to protect Kacho. And speaking of Fugetsu, Fugetsu is learning more and more about the Nen doorway that is probably tied to her Nen beast. And actually, now I think about it, we have not seen the Guardian Spirit Beast of Kacho. Now, why? Various reasons. It could be because A, it's hiding itself even from hunters. It hasn't fully awakened in Kacho herself. It could be because Kacho may have actually done something, somehow, some way, to avoid the ceremony and not actually, like, swallow the... I don't know, maybe. Or it could be because, let's say, Fugetsu and Kacho, that doorway is actually a culmination of both Spirit Beasts, or like they share Spirit Beasts. Again, I'm not too sure what could be or could be the case here, because the Nen Spirit Beasts are fairly unique. And again, one would assume that they're individual in nature. However, it could be the case where because these two sisters are apparently the only siblings that actually care for one another, at least genuinely so. Hulkenberg just cares in general, but these two are true loving sisters for one another. So it could be the case where their Nen beasts are two, but one and the same. Like the tunnel is a culmination of both, because the tunnel that Fugetsu has leads always to Kacho as far as I can tell. Maybe not, We'll have to wait and see. Now, when it comes to Fugetsu in the door, she's learning at what times it appears and how she feels afterwards, because the first time she went through that doorway and she met Kacho. When she got back to her room, she was feeling fairly fatigued. And we know that these Nen beasts are parasitic in nature, that they take the energy from their host. Essentially, she's learning more about her Nen spirit beast abilities. So again, how this plays out with Kacho and Fugetsu, it's going to be fascinating. And I hope that they can both survive, because they seem like good girls. But it's Hunter x Hunter, so best of luck to you. Seriously. Next thing is that we get more intel on the power of the divine spirit beast of Zhang. And fairly quickly, I got it right here in front of me. The third prince is Zhang Li's guardian spirit beast. Conjure and compound type. Multiple abilities activated by multiple conditions. Someone who possesses the coin after fulfilling certain conditions will gain various abilities. Whatever those abilities are, the fact that when a Benny Boy has these coins, at some point he's gonna fit a certain condition and he will gain abilities because it's a coin, and as a result, he may get a genuinely good chance to take out Zhang Li, which would be devastating on many fronts, especially for the attempted alliance between the 14th camp, the 3rd camp, and now the 9th camp. So that'd be not good, exactly. So that is Zhang Li, and that is the ability of his guardian spirit beast. And finally, we get to the 4th prince. Now, the 4th prince is growing at a very fast rate, and this man is scary. This guy has a knack for Nen. He is someone where, give or take a decade or so, he will be a Nen master of one of the highest orders. Like, that's how well he is at learning Nen and understanding Nen. One of the bodyguards is at the training session at the 14th camp, and he's learning Nen. But the 4th prince realizes, hold on, at the end of it all, you have to prove to me that you're still loyal to me, because the teaching process could be a condition for a certain Nen ability to be placed on you. So you have to prove to me after you're done training that you're still loyal to me. And then Theta, his main bodyguard, you can say so far, is starting to realize that when it comes to Nen combat, if you would, he is now surpassing her in one of the fundamental grounds, which is perception of Nen abilities, and understanding that certain things may be conditions for Nen abilities to activate. She didn't think about that. He did. And again, this is Hunter x Hunter. Right? It's not Dragon Ball Z where, oh, power up, Kamehameha, bigger than yours. No, no, no. It's, you have to be extremely tactical when it comes to Nen combat for the most part. And this guy has it. He has the mindset. He has the gift of learning Nen quite easily. And then finally, on a very sinister note, if it wasn't evidence enough when we first see this guy, that this guy is warped and sick and twisted, when he had invited the girls to his room, and then what we see is he's taking a shower, and their hair and the blood is draining from this guy, which was like, whoa, okay. And then we have his guardian spirit beast, where it's all types of wrong. Just like, god damn, this thing is freaky and scary. And Theta got cut by it, and that's probably a way to have Theta under some type of contract with the Nen beast itself and the 4th prince himself. But when they do get to the water divination of his abilities, it makes sense to find out what he is. So they do it, and this guy is a specialist, which is scary. However, oh, the water is rotting. Like, it's weird. It's like the water is rotting and it's bubbling, almost like a miasma. Like, the water becomes miasma and it starts to reek. And Theta is horrified. I have never seen that before, ever. So if you didn't get it the first time, if you didn't get it the second time, the 3rd time is a charm. This dude is all types of messed up. And this is someone that you definitely do not want learning Nen, let alone sitting on the throne. Oh, whoa, no, no, no. The more time passes, the more time he has to learn Nen. At some point, he's going to realize that Theta is slowing him down. If he does realize that it's a purpose, she's dead. She is plain and simple just dead. And the Nen Beast may actually be aware of this first, before he is. At some point, I see her kicking the bucket. I really do. Unless she can be saved by somebody. I don't know who, but somebody. I don't know. Just good luck to Theta, seriously. So that's what we have going down right now for the princes and that whole section of these 4 chapters. Now, we get on to the Phantom Troupe. And the Phantom Troupe are making gains. They're making big gains, making moves. But this also ties to the mafia families of Kaken. The Cha, the Si, and the He-Il. I'm pronouncing those names entirely wrong. I understand that, but that's what I'm going to be saying. The Cha, the Z, Xi, the C, and the He-Il. The Cha family runs the bottom tier, tier 5. The C family runs the 4th tier, and the He-Il family runs the 3rd tier. And each one has a connection with a prince of Kaken. Now, the heads of the mafia families have ties directly to the king of Kaken himself. And in particular, the Cha head and the C head, they want to maintain a degree of balance. However, there's a bit of a hiccup, and that hiccup comes in the form of the Phantom Troupe, the spiders, the infamous thieves of the world, the human world. And the spiders, we get to find out what their numbers are. If we include the ones that have passed away, then we should have all the numbers of the Phantom Troupe as of now, which is good. Very good to find that out. And folks have been wanting to find that out, and now we know. 0 is Kurolo. So there's a 0. 0 is Kurolo. Number 1 is Nobunaga. Number 2 is Phaeton. Number 3 is Machi. Number 4 is Kalto. Number 5 is Sphinx. Skip number 6. Number 7 is Franklin. Number 8 is Shizuku. Skip number 9. Number 10 is... how do I say his name? Bono? The guy with the bandages around him and the boxing gloves. And number 11. Illumi. I am not gonna lie to you. When I saw Illumi, my jaw dropped to the ground. Like, wait a minute, time out. Like, wait. Whoa, dude. What? Bruh, what? Illumi, why are you in with the troop? Like, like, shouldn't you be back at Zoldyck headquarters? We have 2 Zoldicks in the Phantom Troupe, Kalto and Illumi. Where is Silva? Where is Zeno? Like, get back home. Like, what are y'all doing? Stop that nonsense. Get back home. We got stuff to manage here. We are a prideful assassin family, and now you want to join these thieves? Yo, Illumi caught me off guard OD. Like, wait a minute. And Illumi talks to the Phantom Troupe when they're on the table. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He talks to the rest of the Phantom Troupe because now he's a member. And he says, I was commissioned by Hisoka. I was commissioned by Hisoka to join the troop. And we've had a give and take relationship, but now he's commissioned me to kill him. And like Hisoka just, oh my god. Like just the thrill of being hunted. Like honestly, it reminded me a lot of what happened with Goku and Hit, where Goku commissioned an assassination on himself. It was like, what? Okay, so the same thing here. Only it's Illumi, like it's freaks. It's freaks of humanity, bro. So Illumi is now gonna hunt down Hisoka along with the rest of the Phantom Troupe, and if they succeed in killing him, Illumi's gonna get a deposit. Yo, Hisoka's tripping, bro. Like I understand. We all know Hisoka's gotten a lot more powerful ever since his name became stronger after he died, and he forced it too, which is insane. He forced it to happen, but damn, dog. Like, I mean, it was one thing if you want. Okay, you take out Shawnark and you take out Korotopia, you display Shalnark in a very like whoa way, like a whoa. And so Kurolo absolutely livid, and he wants to kill him. In fact, later on, he states specifically, after talking to the Mafia guys, he states that the treasure comes second. Killing Hisoka is first. The thieves, the infamous thieves, the treasure is second to Hisoka's head. Hisoka, he's got more powerful, yeah. But I'm thinking he may have bitten off more than he could chew. Like, unless the Phantom Troupe have to deal with other forces, like, God forbid they want to take on, like, Jin and Pariston. Because, okay, controversial. I think that Jin stands on the top. Like, among the humans, like, the only other human I think that can beat someone like Jin is Dome. But among the cats that are on this ship right now, I think Jin is the pinnacle. Even though we have broken cats like Benjamin and Kurolo, I think Jin is, honest to God, the pinnacle. If they get involved, like if the Zodiac get involved with the Phantom Troupe too, which may happen now, because now you have the third Mafia family, the He-Il family, who has ties to the fourth prince, and the Phantom Troupe are making ties with the Mafias as they go up the tiers. Mizai Storm can get in the contact with the Phantom Troupe, and if that happens, and if stuff goes south, then the Zodiac are in. They're in the shadows, trying to find Hisoka. But there are so many other major parties right now on this ship to where Hisoka, even though I would say he's bitten off more than he can chew, there could be some cushion with the Phantom Troupe accidentally getting involved with other forces, especially if their end goal here is tier 1. Here's the thing. The Phantom Troupe, they're making ties with the Mafias because they want to raise in tiers, and that's the only way you can do it. That you can raise in tiers via tickets. Now, they have combed through the 5th tier by themselves, and they have found no Hisoka. So Hisoka is probably not in the 5th tier. Probably not. And when they're sitting on this table, that's the table, that's one of the main tables of a Mafia group of the Cha family. And this bald guy leads them. They have these rose tattoos on them somewhere. And I'm surprised that these guys didn't just die, right? I'll be real. I'm surprised that these guys didn't just die right then and there. I would have figured Phaeton just sing and then their heads are off. No. Kurolo and this bald dude kind of negotiate. And this bald dude was on point. He was like, listen, I know that you guys are the Phantom Troupe, and you guys clearly want something. And we can help you with whatever you're aiming for. However, we have to maintain face. We are still the rules of this floor, this area. And so in order to maintain face and maintain balance, we would appreciate it if you guys just peaced and we'd help you with what you want, but you give us our status without any fight. And Kurolo agrees. So he's like, okay, you know what? Oh yeah, I want some intel on certain things and such. And the guy is willing to oblige. However, they go a little bit too far with the whole, let's get into the 1st tier, and he's like, no, don't get too cocky. Straight up zebra moment. So, the Mafias now understand that the Phantom Troupe, they're aiming for this guy named Hisoka, but also they still want the treasures, and the treasures are in the 2nd tier and predominantly in the 1st tier. That's what they assume, where the royalty is. Because the 2nd tier is like the famous cats, the nobles, that kind of stuff. And then the top tier is the royalty. Now, the Mafia heads, they understand, okay, there is a balance to maintain here. Mainly of the Cha and the Z family. There is a balance to maintain. And if the Phantom Troupe were to get to the 1st tier, if the Phantom Troupe were somehow inserted into the chaos right now, that is the battle of the Succession War, and on top of that, you have Kurapika who's there too, and you know they want to kill him, especially Nobunaga. Chaos doesn't even cut it at that point. Now again, the Mafia heads, they understand that if they get to the 1st tier, then the whole thing could come crumbling down. So what they have going on right now are the underbosses, the lieutenants, if you would, of the Mafia. They are now tasked with finding Hisoka before the Phantom Troupe do. So the Cha underboss and the sea underboss are now searching for Hisoka in various ways. And if they find Hisoka before the Phantom Troupe do, then they have leverage over the Phantom Troupe. Because the Cha family understand at the very least. Because one of the guys that was with the ball guy, he could see Nen. And he knew that the Phantom Troupe were bad news. And they weren't even hiding their Nen. They're just really bad dudes. And if they want to get to the first tier, they could. But the whole point here is to stop them so they can maintain balance. And Hisoka could be used as leverage, which is why you have now the underbosses that are making their move. However, there is an exception. This is where Hunter x Hunter goes DiCaprio. This is where Hunter x Hunter goes into the Leo, the Inception route, because there's a lot of systems in Hunter x Hunter. And now we have systems on top of systems on top of systems within a system. It's like, dude, okay, all right. So the head of the Heel family that is partnered with the fourth prince is an illegitimate daughter of the king of Kaken. And she is level 45. Now, when I first read that, I'm like, what the hell does that mean? 45. Apparently, she has a Nen ability that is contagious by nature. And it also coincides with killing. So, the more someone kills, the more their Nen aura levels up. And if they reach level 20, then they gain their own unique Nen abilities. No, 20 or 21, some of that sort. So she is considered to be a 0. In fact, you know what? Let me just get it real quick. Here's the entire description. Through the saliva of member 0, the affected individuals multiply up to a maximum of 23, including Morena herself. That's the head of the Mafia family. And members level up as they kill, increasing their total aura and power. Upon reaching level 20, their own abilities emerge, and at level 100, the individual becomes a new member 0, and they can form their own community of infected. So it's kind of like a zombie-ish type ability, but the zombies can power up at level like 20 with Nen abilities. But again, they don't lose their minds, but the infection spreads fairly similarly. But you have a cap of 25 people that you can infect for the time being. And again, she is a 0. She can spread the contagion around with her own saliva. So now we have the Heel family. They are now starting to kill people in various floors. And this includes the 3rd floor, where they are supposed to run the 3rd floor. However, this has now got the attention of one of the Zodiac, Mizai Storm. And now the Zodiac are going to play a role in this, because people are dying. People are dying because the head of the Heel family apparently is all about creating even more chaos. Wonderful. Absolutely stunning. Murders that are going across the multiple floors between Tier 3 and Tier 5. And the Phantom Troupe, they have separated. And the Phaeton and Nobunaga group, they are trying to get their stuff that they smuggled in. And one of the guys that they were following has passed away, was killed by one of the members of the Heel family. And now they're being stalked by this guy. So, right now, Hunter x Hunter is, I would say, on fire. Because the Phantom Troupe stuff is a treat. It is a pleasure. And it is potentially bringing in the Zodiac as well. And again, God forbid you have Jin and Pariston. It's like, so things are getting heavy. And I like it. I really do enjoy what's happening right now. I'm done, guys. I'm done. So we are back on schedule as of this video. And again, I'll do my chapter review, my official chapter review, as soon as I possibly can. So I'm going to see you guys and gals later. Be sure to rate the video. It is not that hard to do. I guarantee you that. Because I know that you all have a device called Zamaosu. You use Zamaosu to click, rate the video. To click, subscribe. To click on that bell to join the squad. And of course, comment in the comment section down below. Peace. And have a nice goddamn day. Phantom Troupe, he's so good, Illumi, fire.